Hello everyone. The Earth's nature is so beautiful that it never ceases to amaze. Famous travelers, whose life path is one big journey, assure that human life is not enough to know the beauty of our planet. Minerals are a part of the living nature and one of its important and valuable components, which are created in natural conditions and have colossal energetic properties. But as accident statistics show, not all natural stones are equally useful. Among thousands of rocks and minerals, there are small inclusions that are deadly. The combination of certain elements of the Mendeleev table creates extremely poisonous compounds, contact with which can be fatal for a person. Paradoxically, everything poisonous in nature looks as attractive as possible. For example, fly agaric in the forest grass looks extremely spectacular, and colorful shells of mollusks fascinate with their beauty and at the same time very poisonous. In the same way, among stones, an unusually bright and attractive pebble may well turn out to be deadly. In this video, you will learn about the most poisonous stones that you should never touch. Galena. Galenite is an unusual stone, the coloring of which is quite suitable for the definition of modern high-tech style. In nature, such minerals are extremely rare, they have fantastic geometry and a very stylish color palette. Galena is the main ore from which lead is extracted. The structure of galena is based on small shiny silver cubes, perfectly symmetrical and clearly outlined, as if it was created in an extraterrestrial biolaboratory. Its steel color with a bluish cast brings to mind distant stars and the vast expanse of our universe. Mineralogists and crystallographers are well aware of how dangerous this space stone is. Many who came into contact with galena without protective equipment were subsequently struck by severe diseases. As a rule, the victims of this very toxic stone turned out to be ordinary amateur naturalists who had no idea that there are deadly to human health natural stones. The mineral is so interesting and unusual that it literally draws attention to itself, and the more you follow it, the more interest it arouses. For example, if you hit it with a hammer, it scatters into many of its copies. The strikingly symmetrical cubes split exclusively along their perimeter and no other way. Such a cute and deadly toy hangs in the hands of non-professionals for a long time, while experienced people stay as far away from the beautiful find as possible. Torburnite. The stone is named after the Swedish chemist and mineralogist Torbjörn Bergman. It is directly related to the well-known uranium with its consequences. The symbiosis of copper, phosphorus, water and uranium looks quite fascinating. The entire surface of the mineral is dotted with small bright green prisms. In front of such beauty it is very difficult to resist not to take it in your hands. Even experienced investigators fell into the nets of insidious Torburnite, which later bitterly regretted. These green-colored stones emit deadly radon gas, which causes lung cancer. The mineral is so saturated with uranium that uranium deposits are determined by its presence in nature. The average person is unlikely to ever encounter this stone, except through the building finishing material granite. When choosing slabs of natural granite for your needs, try to avoid material that has rich green flecks. It is likely that they may be pieces of dangerous Torburnite. Calcite. Calcite translates from ancient Greek as flower. Because of its appeal, you can guarantee almost 100% that when you encounter the stone on your path, you won't be able to pass it by. An incredible, bright and seductive mineral, its crystals are fused together in the shape of a flower and have a rich blue ultramarine hue that instantly draws attention to itself. But why is this flower considered deadly? The mineral is composed primarily of copper with minor amounts of sulfur and water added. The combination of such seemingly natural ingredients in certain proportions turns into a toxic substance. The danger lies in the fact that safe and even useful for the body, copper in this form is easily dissolved in water and quickly absorbed into any biological body. As a result, a large dose of copper, instantly entering the body, is a real poison, capable in a matter of minutes to stop the work of internal organs and even lead to death. The attempt of industrial extraction of calcite always ends badly. In places where the mineral is extracted, the environmental situation sharply deteriorates, and if the mineral is extracted in a water body, all living things die in it. Choleradoite. This deadly mineral was discovered relatively recently in the American state of Colorado among igneous rocks. The shiny mineral turned out to be very dangerous for human health. It is an alloy of mercury with the equally poisonous element telluride. In fact, it's mercury squared. Such a mineral is strictly contraindicated to hold in your hands, and in hot weather it is forbidden to even approach Choleradoite because of the release of toxic vapors. The structure of the mineral resembles mercury. Its entire surface seems to be studded with small round and shiny mercury balls. Curiously, the second component of the stone contains gold, which attracts attention with its radiance. However, telluride is a necessary component for the metallurgical industry, which is why Choleradoite is mined, despite its danger. Hutchinsonite. This is another incredibly beautiful and extremely dangerous mineral that contains thallium, lead and arsenic. This mineral cocktail is capable of killing humans and any other living thing. It is named after the famous British mineralogist John Hutchinson. It is noteworthy that the less common element thallium, which is part of this mineral, is much more dangerous than the widely known lead. Thallium is an incredibly heavy and very toxic substance. Even with minor contact, it causes hair loss, skin diseases, and death. Asbestos. Surely you have already heard this name, since the mineral has long been used in the construction industry, as well as in the automotive and rocket industries. At the same time is a terrible poisonous substance, which in a certain state is lethal to humans. Asbestos consists of thousands of microscopic filamentous crystals that are easily airborne. When asbestos is in a dry powdered state, the microcrystals enter a person's lungs in the process of breathing. And then truly scary things happen. Solid microcrystals of asbestos damage the delicate walls of the lungs, leaving scars on them. Such damages cause diseases of lungs, sometimes with extremely heavy consequences. That being said, asbestos is a completely natural element and one of the most common hard minerals found all over the world. Arsenopyrite. Arsenopyrite is called fool's gold among specialists. It is easy to confuse the mineral with gold, and if you hold it in your hands, it will send you to the other world. Arsenopyrite is also known as arsenic cauldron. The stone is devilishly attractive and really looks like a gold nugget, is quite widely found in nature, even in common rocks of quartz and fluorite. A lot of gold prospectors have died just from touching it with their hands and the poisonous compound getting inside the body. When heated, arsenic mineral is especially dangerous, as it emits toxic and carcinogenic vapors, breathing which can be fatal. The presence of deadly gas can be determined by the sharp smell of garlic, and hitting it with a hammer will immediately sprinkle sparks emitting an acrid odor. Auripigment. Auripigment is another arsenic stone, the crystals of which also contain sulfur and are often found near hydrothermal springs. The mineral, like all poisonous stones, looks very tempting, which you want to take and look closer, but it is strictly forbidden to do so because of the incredible carcinogenic and neurotoxic arsenic in its composition. In the history of China, there are many sad stories related to this mineral. The ancient Chinese used arsenic stone as a dye. The mineral was a component of ochre paint and led many Chinese artists to an early grave. After that, auripigment began to be used for military purposes. It was crushed to a powdery state, and a special composition was created on its basis, with which arrowheads were treated. Many enemies of the Celestial Empire were defeated with such weapons. Well, the masters who were engaged in processing arrows and constantly came into contact with this dangerous mineral very quickly fell ill and died. Do you want more interesting and informative? Then subscribe to the channel to learn all the most interesting things that happen on our planet and beyond.